Emergency funds are there for you if you suddenly lose your job or you face an unexpected expense. Right now, in the middle of a global pandemic, they're more important than ever because there's so much financial uncertainty. So instead of putting it off, let's talk about how to start building an emergency fund today. An emergency fund is there for you if you suddenly face an income loss or an unexpected bill, anything from a medical bill or your car breaks down, your house needs repairs. Just to give you an idea of what these kinds of unexpected expenses might cost you, here are some of the common ones. The average surprise medical bill costs around $500. Pet emergencies range between $800 and $1,500. Unplanned car repairs average about $400. And most major unexpected home repairs, that's things like a new furnace, roof, or air conditioning, fall between $3,000 and $8,000. Imagine if life throws you multiple sudden costs at once. That would be thousands of dollars worth of unexpected expenses. Emergency funds might not be as exciting to talk about as planning your dream vacation or even saving for college, but they're a really essential part of building your financial security. The first step is to think about how large you want your emergency fund to be. We often hear from personal finance experts that you want to have 3 to 6 months worth of expenses tucked away. The average American household has roughly $5,000 a month in expenses. That includes housing costs, food, car payments, and other necessities. That means a recommended emergency savings of somewhere between $15,000 and $30,000. But that's just not realistic for a lot of people. So if that's the case for you, you can aim to save $500 or $1,000 and work your way up from there. At NerdWallet, we have a really helpful emergency fund calculator so you can figure out just how much you want to save. Now that you know what it's used for, here are some tips for starting one. It can be really helpful to set up automatic transfers into your savings account so every month you're transferring money over and slowly building your emergency fund over time. You can also look for ways to cut back on unnecessary expenses and shift that money into savings instead. When you receive a gift or any other kind of windfall like a tax refund, put that right into your emergency fund. Finally, where you put the fund really matters. You want to consider putting it in a high-yield online savings account because those accounts tend to pay a higher interest rate than traditional banks. Just make sure that it's FDIC insured so your money is safe. And when you're thinking about your longer-term savings, things like retirement, you want to consider putting your money in an account that takes on greater risk but also earns a higher interest rate, or else the money won't keep up with inflation. If you don't have an emergency fund yet, I encourage you to start one today. You can start by saving just $5 or $10 a week and then building it from there. Even if you never need it, and hopefully you never do, it's comforting to know that it's there. It's Kimberly, personal finance expert at NerdWallet. For me, having an emergency fund gave me the option of taking extra time off after I had my daughter, who's now 10, so I was really glad that I planned ahead. If you have a question about emergency funds, please leave a comment and don't forget to subscribe.